If you watched my last video, you know I did a full grocery haul and cost breakdown to show you how I feed my family on a tight budget. But I couldn't fit everything into one video, so today I'm sharing the rest of the meals we made from the same grocery haul. These are simple, nourishing, budget-friendly recipes we've actually been eating this week, all made from scratch using affordable ingredients. If you're trying to cut back on grocery costs, feed your family well, or just need some fresh, frugal recipe ideas, I hope this gives you some inspiration. And if you want to watch part 1, I'll link it down in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into the meals. So for the first recipe, we're just keeping it simple, and I'm making some tofu bowls. This is my go-to recipe and probably one of my favorites. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap, and it tastes amazing. And some of you ask how I can cook. This is how. Kai is so independent, he just plays by himself and entertains himself when I'm cooking. Back to the tofu, you're gonna wanna start off by first draining it. And depending on the firmness, you might have to get some of the water out of the tofu and then just cube it and throw it in a bowl. And literally all you're going to do is top it with whatever spices you want. You can also use some oil, or I'm using soy sauce instead, and then cornstarch just to give it kind of that crispy taste. I usually just eyeball everything, and if you've been around this channel for any length of time, you know that, but I'll try to write like a more specific recipe down below. But I added some salt, some pepper, maybe a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, maybe 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of lime juice, probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then mix it all together and then topped it with some cornstarch and mix that on in. Playing with your paints and organizing. You want to try one? Yeah. Oh, and the oven is ready. Okay, so I'm just gonna go put this in the oven for probably 10 minutes and then stir it with a spatula, like flip it over, and then another 10 minutes, and then probably another 10 minutes after that. I don't really time my tofu. I kind of just check on it pretty frequently. Come on, let's go put this in the oven, or maybe you stay there actually. It's hot. It's pulling on my dress right behind me. Hey! Okay, I'm gonna play with Makai, clean this up at the same time, and just make a quick carrot salad with some vinegar and some rice. Yeah, those are spices from the tofu. You love tofu. That's one of your favorite meals, isn't it? Tofu. Tofu. I can definitely tell that this one's different than the extra firm by the way it's cooking. It's more mushy. However, I know you can press the liquid out of the tofu. I just wanted to experiment this way. I'm sure it'll still taste good though. For the salad, I'm going to keep it super simple and literally just put a splash of vinegar, some salt, and some sesame seeds. And I'm not going to really measure anything, but this just shows you a salad. It doesn't have to be expensive. Carrots are one of the cheaper vegetables. Vinegar is like $1 for a huge bottle. Salt, sesame seeds, that's probably the most expensive. Simple but good. If you wanted a little bit of sweetness, you could also add like a little bit of honey in here or maple syrup. Can you finish it? Oh, tea towel fell on Mama's leg. Want some? Num num? Dinner is served. Life with a toddler. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. This is one of our go-to meals, is these like tofu cubes just with some spices. Usually rice on the side, and then today we're doing like a carrot salad, but I made enough for tomorrow, and I think for tomorrow I'll just cook some frozen veggies. We have some frozen broccoli, so any frozen veggie I usually just pair with this, and I topped it with tahini and sesame seeds. We make this at least once a week because I know Makai loves it, I love it, Kai loves it. It's quick and easy to make, and it's very cheap. Tofu's not too expensive, rice is cheap. And the frozen veggie usually isn't too expensive either. We always make 2 packets of tofu so we have leftovers. So delicious. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm not making dinner. And actually for my birthday, I'm going to a family reunion. For the next day, I'll be making sweet potato, black bean tacos. We're gonna go ahead and eat some of this, and I guess I'll see you in the next recipe. It is the next day, and we are making those sweet potato, black bean tacos, quesadillas, whatever you want to call them. And if the background looks different, it's because I'm at my mom's house today, and I was making dinner for everyone, so I thought, why not just bring my camera along and show you the recipe. And if you've been following my page for a while now, you would recognize this background because we used to live at my mom's house the first year of Makai's life, basically, a little bit less. Oh no, I see a grumpy home. But around the first year until we moved into our house, so if you recognize the background, that's why. So anyway, getting to the actual recipe, just start by peeling and cubing either 1 large sweet potato or 2 medium sweet potatoes, and then adding water into a pot with your potatoes and bring it to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, then boil it for roughly 10 to 15 minutes, depending how big your cubes are. Just poke it with a fork and then you'll know if it's done or not. Then I started sauteing roughly half an onion on a pan just with some water. And that's a tip if you want to save some money. Saute your veggies in water instead of oil, but you can also use oil if you have that or you want to. Once my potatoes were done, I drained them and then put them back in the pot and then mashed them with the potato masher. And then I just added some spices to kind of give it a nice chili, spicy flavor. So I added some chili powder, some onion powder, some paprika, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I added some garlic I had diced. You can also add garlic powder. And then when my onions were done cooking, I added the garlic into that too and sauteed that, and then put it into a bowl. And the other toppings I have is some cheese that we had, some chives from the garden, some cilantro from the garden, and the beans, the black beans. So once everything was ready to go, I heated up my pan to medium heat and then put the little tortillas on it and filled it with some sweet potato and black beans and some mozzarella cheese, and then also the onion and garlic mixture, the chives, the cilantro. I put a bunch of stuff in there. It was really tasty, but you can keep it simple and just do the sweet potato and black beans. If you're vegan, you know, opt out for the cheese. Or if you're like me and you have some herbs in your garden, add that on there. And then just cook it for roughly 2 to 3 minutes and then flip it to the other side and then cook it again for 2 to 3 minutes and then you're all done. Me and my mom are gonna taste test these little sweet potato tacos together. I ended up making quesadillas more than like tacos just because there's some cheese that needed to be used up. And the great thing about having family or communal meals is everyone pitches in something. You want to come, Kai? So I brought the sweet potatoes, the beans, tortillas, and then my parents in the garden had some cilantro and some chives we could put in there. And then my brother made this homemade salsa that we're going to put on top. We have some hot sauce and then some sour cream at my parents' house. So that's a tip, is just to make community that you can share meals with each other, whether that be family or friends. Mama! And we have some hot sauce. Ryan's being cranky, so Mimi's gonna test them first while I feed Makai.
The sweet potatoes and black bean. Very tasty. It's very good.
It's now the next day, and me and Makai are gonna make some banana oat muffins together. Simple and delicious. Help mommy with the bananas. We're gonna add all of them in here, okay? And mash them up. Eat a piece of banana if you want. Help it, mama. Oh yeah, so we're gonna add some of these. You wanna help? Mommy pour it in the cup and you pour it in. Okay, pour it in and pour it in the bowl. Good job! High five! Good job. Okay, let's do a cup of plain oats. Okay, mommy put it in here and then you pour it in, okay? Okay, ready? Pour it in. Whoa! That made a little bit of a mess, didn't it? That was a little bit silly. We're gonna add a little bit of this. Okay, mix it all together for mama. Mama, help you with the fork. How about you try the fork and you mash it down like this? Here. Tastes yummy. You want to try? Who knew bananas and oats could taste so good, right? Thank you. Thought of a good idea, Makai. Let's add some cocoa powder to some. Thank you for helping, buddy. You're so good. So these muffins are literally just bananas and oats mixed together. You could also just form them into balls and you don't have to cook them, but we're gonna cook them. And then this one I added some cocoa powder, but you could also add some oil of some sort, like peanut butter or coconut oil. You could add chia seeds, like a chia seed egg to help them become more fluffy. You could blend the oats to make it more of a flour. You could also add some sweetener if you want, like maple syrup, but the bananas do give it some sweetness. And we try to be minimal on the sweetness when we make things. These are very customizable, but honestly, all you need is bananas and oats. Super cheap. Oats are cheap, bananas are cheap. Just make sure your bananas are really ripe so they're extra sweet. You need the broom after this, huh, buddy? You want to clean up? Okay, thank you. And okay, so the timer just went off for the muffins. Since they're tiny and they don't have much in them, I'm only gonna put it at 350 and put it in for probably 10 minutes and then check on them and then maybe put them for max another 10 minutes. Mommy needs to clean you up too. Hey Makai, it's lunchtime, buddy. Okay, leftovers and the muffins we made. Oh! You love avocado, don't you? Want some on yours? There you go. You want tahini too? You want to eat your muffins? Next up on the menu is black bean burgers. You have seen these on my channel a couple times now, and every time I make them, I always switch them up. I always pack them full of spices though, so they taste delicious. That is really the hack of making the black bean burgers so good. So I had some nutritional yeast in there, onion flakes, some pepper and salt, onion powder, cumin powder, all that good stuff. But I first started off by blending some flax seeds into a powder, roughly 3 tablespoons, and then just submerging it with water. What this does, it forms almost like an egg and just helps the whole mixture combine together. Once you pour the water on it, you're just going to want to shake it up and then let it sit while you're doing the rest of the stuff. And for step-by-step directions as well as specific measurements of each ingredient, I'll make sure for all these recipes that I'm sharing today to list them down in the description. But what I'm doing right now is just measuring out all my dry ingredients while my black beans cook. So I added 1 tablespoon of paprika, salt and pepper, a tablespoon of onion flakes, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 2 tablespoons of dried diced onions, a cup of oat flour, and yeah, that was all the dry ingredients. I'm making dinner during Makai's nap time as per usual. It's already almost 4. He's been having his naps really late. I think because of the summer and the sun is up so long. But of course, when I was blending this, it woke him up, which I kind of thought might be the case, but I risked it anyway. I just got him back to sleep, so I don't want to risk blending it anymore. So I'm just going to form it into patties right now. This may look gross right now, but trust me, it actually tastes good. With these black bean burgers, oh, it's hot from blending it. With these black bean burgers, they're very versatile of what you can put in it. You can see that I added a lot of stuff, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But you don't really need to add all those things if you want to keep it cheaper and simpler. Just have a starch to keep it together. So oat flour, or I use rice a lot of the times. Spices that you have on hand, literally anything, whatever you like the flavor of. You can just do salt, pepper, garlic powder. You can either heat these on a frying pan with a little bit of oil, or just because I have so many and I want to kind of do it all at once because I'm on a ticking time bomb before my baby wakes up, I'm just going to cook them in the oven. And I made a big batch, so I'm going to freeze some of these, and then we'll also have some for lunch tomorrow, and we still have some other leftovers. We still have some rice in the fridge that we have to eat up. We're getting kind of low on groceries. Like, we're in the point of the week where we don't really have a lot of garden stuff like salads, but I did pick some cucumbers yesterday along with some banana peppers. So I'm going to keep it simple and just chop that up, throw those veggies together, and then add some onion in it. I wish I had red onion, but I only have white onion, and some vinegar and some salt, and have like a little cucumber salad. And then I think for tomorrow, I'm going to save some of the cucumber and do like a pasta salad with the same kind of thing, like a vinegar-based dressing, some pasta noodles, and then the cucumber. And it just shows you that you don't need a lot to make a meal. You don't need all these fancy things. Or if you're running low, you can just make it do with what you have in the fridge, so you can stretch the amount of time before you go to the grocery store just to save money. It's really great this time of year when we can supplement with things in our garden. So say we ran out of veggies or running low, there's usually always something to be picked. Right now the tomatoes are growing, cucumbers are growing, we have squash starting to grow, we have banana peppers, chili peppers. We even have some fruit. We have some cranberries, strawberry, blueberries. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish these off, and then I have the oven already preheated at 425. Throw them in for 10 minutes, flip them another 10 minutes, see how they are, work on the salad, and then Kai should be home. Some fresh dill, but I don't want to risk the door opening, waking up Kai. And we have some dry dill, so I'm just gonna add this. So it's kind of like a dill pickle salad. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. Oh! I don't wake him up by dropping something. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit until dinner time. When it is time to serve it, I'm going to transfer it into another bowl with like a slotted spoon to leave the liquid behind. The final dinner, it's very simple. I didn't end up making any hamburger buns just because it's super hot today. Me and Makai were outside all day and I didn't feel like prepping them today. And then also because when it is hot, I don't really feel like having anything heavy, so we're just keeping it very, very simple with some burgers. And for toppings, I have hot sauce as usual, some mustard, and then some tahini. All right, with the salad. This just shows you again that you don't need to make any of these complicated fancy meals, really just something that's gonna fill your stomach and give you nutrients and fuel you. I know tahini is a very weird topping, but I'm weird like that. I put tahini on everything, but you could just do ketchup and mustard or whatever you have. Nothing tastes better than veggies from your own garden. And nothing tastes better than simple cucumbers and vinegar and salt. Look how good that is. So simple, yet so good. Just making my pizza sauce. This is so simple. Some tomato paste and then spices of your choice. I usually always add some garlic powder. I literally add this probably into anything. If you had to ask me what my #1 spice is, garlic powder. And then some onion powder. Eyeball it, but probably like 2 tablespoons of each, I would say. Just a pinch of salt, maybe half a teaspoon. And then because tomato paste is so thick, you're going to want to add some water. You can also add some sugar if you like your sauce a little bit sweet. Maybe 1 tablespoon worth of water. You can kind of just add it slowly and see how much you want. Because once you add too much, you can't take it back. My mom gave us a bunch of spices from Epicure, and we have this pizza one that she gave us that she loves and Kai loves. So I'm going to add it to the sauce. A generous amount. You can never have too much of a flavor in your sauce. But in this is tomato, Parmesan cheese, garlic, herbs, green bell pepper, and chili. Sauce is ready and the dough is rising. That's going to take 25 minutes. It's Saturday today and Kai is out with Makai. Our faucet broke, so he had to go pick up a new faucet. And they're going to be back probably by the time the dough's done rising, so in 20 minutes. So we have that for a topping. Still have some cheese left over from those sweet potato tacos. And then my mom actually gave us this meat maybe like a month ago, so it needs to be used up. She came here one day after going grocery shopping and she said, "Don't let me forget my pizza meat." She was making the same thing, pizza. And then she forgot it, and then she told us just to keep it anyway because my dad, she didn't even know, picked up some too. I'm vegetarian, Makai's vegetarian, we don't eat meat, but Kai does, but very rarely because I do most of the cooking. I don't usually cook with meat, and meat's expensive. It's just been over half an hour, and Makai just got home, so sorry for any background noise. Kai's playing with his cars, and Kai's starting to fix the faucet, but the pizza dough basically doubled in size. I probably could have left it for another like 10-15 minutes, but Just want to get it going because it's warm, and once Kai fixes the faucet, we want to go out. So I doubled the recipe because I want to freeze half. I always do that with pizza dough because it's a quick meal, and days I don't feel like cooking, I just take it out in advance and let it defrost. Now I'm getting a phone call. That's life. Lots of background noises. Okay, thanks. Bye. So I oiled my pan, and I take less than half just because we like our crust like super thin, but if you like thick crust, I would take full thing. I'm gonna get my rolling pin. Kai's fixing the sink. I probably used about like 2 teaspoons of oil on the pan, but you could just sprinkle flour. It's cheaper. I just find when I use flour, the pizza dough comes out more dry. So, and also I'm using the silicone baking mat, so really, I guess technically you probably don't need anything. Can you hear Makai playing with his cars? It's literally the cutest thing ever. He makes little car noises. All rolled out, it's pretty thin. Now we're just gonna top it with our sauce. Now I can hear that Makai is throwing all his cars off the couch. I probably added 1/4 cup of the sauce. Now we're gonna top it with our cheese. Oh, thank you, Makai. You have a receipt for mommy. And then I'm gonna use the whole package of meat for Kai's side because it does have to be used up. Usually I definitely wouldn't stack up this much meat on a pizza. It has to be used up because it's been in the fridge for quite a while. So I guess I'm doing more than half the pizza with meat and taking up all the space. And then we have some of these that Kai wanted on it, some jalapenos. I think it's like maybe $2.97 for this whole jar. And we're growing our own hot peppers now that we will pickle soon. My oven just went off, so it's preheated. I preheated it to 425. I'll put it in probably for 10 to 12 minutes and then lift the bottom up with a knife, like a butter knife. And if it's brown, that's when you know it's done. Depending, I guess, how crispy you like it. Because I did make it thinner, it will cook a little bit quicker, but if you made it thicker or had like a bunch of toppings, you'd probably have to cook it upwards for 15, even like 17 minutes. I'm gonna go put this in the oven and it will be ready in like 10 minutes. As you can see, the pizza is ready. It turned out nice and crisp. And then we have some of the cucumber salad we're gonna pair with it, and then later on I'm gonna make the pasta salad. However, I know this video is already quite long, so I think I'm gonna leave you here with this. And Kai's working on the sink and Makai's getting into everything. So I'm just going to end the video here, and I'll include the pasta salad in my next video if you're interested. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If any of these recipes gave you inspiration, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much with the algorithm, and to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I'll see you in the next recipe video. Bye for now.